Hey, what's going on everyone? So I purpled Leon. If you're interested in this man with very angry knee pads and what he offers to a party, stick around and find out. Leon is on paper a physical attacker, but his real strengths come in his ability to force Dark Enchant onto enemies and allow the party to absorb their brave attacks. His skill 1 is Dark Slash, 4 single target dark elemental attacks with an HP hit, 120% overflow, and 50% splash damage. Based on how much bravery is used for the HP hit, he gains differing stacks of his main unique buff, Dark Knight, which increases attack and max bravery. With Dark Knight active and above 50% HP, he gains an enhanced brave attack. While above 80% HP, this move is enhanced to a plus form, which has higher strength and overflow, as well as further enhances his brave attack. Dark Slash also grants Leon a small generic attack up buff. His skill 2 is Dark Bind, 5 dark elemental group hits that deal split HP damage and can overflow to 150%. It heals Leon primarily, but if there's any healing overflow, it is given to his allies up to a certain limit. If Dark Knight is active and Leon's above 80% HP, this move is also enhanced to its plus form, giving it more strength and overflow. Both forms of Dark Bind inflict a generic sap debuff onto enemies, as well as allowing Leon to apply or refresh Dark Knight with the same conditionals. His EX is Dark Stream, 4 dark elemental group hits that deal total damage to the enemies. This move also has a plus form with the same conditions as his base kit, and using it increases its potency but also grants Leon his EX buff of Black Knight's Pride, which is basically a reverse enchant. It enchants enemy non-elemental attacks to give them the dark element, and it allows the party to absorb dark elemental brave attacks and turn them into bravery, similar to Celeste with Brave Magic Absorb active and hit with magic brave attacks. He also gains enhanced HP attacks with the same conditions as his enhanced brave attacks, which can also help heal him in a pinch. His EX Plus improves his EX rotation, EX cast, and oddly enough, his party benefits. Realization increases the EX cast strength and also has it apply Dark Imperil onto enemies, opening up more types of fights for him. It also improves Black Knight's Pride with 20% more attack and 20% more overflow for Leon. 1 ingot is strangely enough a party aura for max bravery and attack. Can't really complain about that, as weird as it is. 2 ingots starts him off with 3 levels of Dark Knight as well as full recast gauge, speeding up his skill rotation and his party benefits. 3 ingots further improves the EX cast with more hits, potency, and overflow, as well as lowering the HP conditional of Dark Stream Plus from 80% to 50%, making it easier for Leon to keep up Black Knight's Pride if enemies start throwing out more HP attacks. Leon at first glance doesn't really show obviously what he is. His potencies are okay, his single target hit counts are kinda low, his skill counts aren't that high, he has no stat auras outside of his EX Plus at 1 of 3, and he offers very little healing. So what is he? In my opinion, he's a tank who doesn't work like a tank. He doesn't provoke and he doesn't shield, but he doesn't need to. With his EX buff, all base non-elemental or dark elemental brave attacks are no longer an issue. Granted, this doesn't do anything about the HP damage or brave gain HP attacks, but reasonably, you won't be running him as the only healer in the party, or you've thought out your plan. Being able to nullify brave damage and gain that bravery for yourself lets you have more effective skills with multiple HP dumps and removes any worry about getting broken. The biggest issue he has is that Black Knight's Pride has a very short uptime, only 4 turns. If you're looking to have 100% uptime on it, you can't be too conservative with his skills. He only has 13 usages total, and he needs to use Dark Stream Plus to get the buff, which means he also needs to keep Dark Knight as well as his HP up. With all that being said, an LD would absolutely make his rotation easier. Besides the obvious of having another skill to charge his EX gauge, I think it could also help out his rotation by extending his self-granted buffs, giving, 7 duration to Dark Knight and 6 duration to Black Knight's Pride. This would also let him get in a few more basic attacks, which hopefully would also get a bit of an improvement. It'd also be cool if it gave a bit of party benefit as well, perhaps a party dark enchant added to one of his buffs, maybe an overflow aura, maybe a stat aura as part of the LD passive. Without giving him free skills or skill regen, these sound like reasonable ways to improve his ability to do damage and buff the team in indirect ways. Like I mentioned earlier, Leon feels like a tank who doesn't function as a tank. He protects the team by letting them absorb brave damage, has slight healing, but that's about it. The only other character who has any sort of brave damage absorption mechanic is Celeste, but she is much more of a true tank with the ability to lock enemies onto her, as well as having high sustain and brave refund along with all of her absorption. What Leon offers though does let him be a flexible choice for parties, most likely as the third once you've chosen your primary damage and support units. So yeah, that's a very purple Leon. He's honestly a bit of a sleeper hit of a unit. As while not a widespread pickup back in the days of his lost chapter, those who did get him certainly found ways to use him thanks to the unique sort of cheese he provided. I should say though, that if you already have Arciela, then going for this banner is a hard sell, considering that the very hyped Noctis is also here. A solid banner for newer players though, as literally all the banner units are helpful to get you going, and since no one has an LD, hypothetically it'd be easier to get everything you need. If you like this video and want to see breakdowns of other purple units, chaos fights, or other Opera Omnia content, stick around and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again.